Hey everyone, it's Stargirl.thepracticalwitch and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm here with another pick a card reading where we are going to figure out what the person on your mind really feels about you and what is really on their heart for you. So I am only going to pry into their energy as much that is ethical, that spirit will let me see. However, a lot of other different love messages may come through from spirit about your love life. So even if you don't have anyone on your mind, if you pick a card, this still might be able to resonate with you, because I'm just gonna go ahead and get pretty much a whirlwind of messages in my ear in all different directions. So what I'm going to need you guys to do is pick one of the options with your intuition, your gut, and not your eyes. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys an up-close view of the options so you can meditate on which one is really calling to you. And then once you pick an option, you can go ahead and fast forward to the timestamps I provide in the description and the pinned comment, so you can fast forward right to your message. But before I go ahead and show you guys an up-close view of the cards, I do want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors who helped make today's video happen. But once I do that, it's a straight up shot of the cards. Before we get started on today's video, I'm so excited to share this with you guys. I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors, Keen. For those of you who don't know what Keen is, it is a affordable place where you can talk to Vedic psychics and spiritual advisors about anything in your life, from love, career, anything you can think of. And I personally, my experiences with Keen have been amazing. And I'll tell you something, guys, I've had a really hard time throughout my life finding psychics that were for me. It actually wasn't until I found Keen and I tried Keen that I actually found a psychic that was right for me. It helped me with a lot of different problems and issues in my life. As you guys know, I wouldn't recommend somebody unless I really knew that there were talented spiritual advisors, psychics on there who have amazing hearts. They give really clear and concise, accurate advice. So there's this lady I talked to on Keen, and she told me 1 year ago a lot about what is happening in my life today. She also told me that I would start a business that included essential oils and flowers. And when she told me, at first I was like, okay, we'll see about that, because I couldn't see myself doing it. And guess what, guys? Now I'm doing all of those things. All of her predictions came true, and that's why since that day I've been going back to Keen. I will say that, like any other service, it's best to call around to find, which psychic fits you best. I mean, obviously. And then that's why it's also really important to develop a relationship with an advisor, because then they're able to keep up with you. One of the best things about Keen is that they're available 24/7. So it's really easy, like whenever you need guidance, just to hop on and speak to somebody. Or if there's someone you really like, you can always schedule an appointment as well. As you guys can see, it is super easy to go through the sign up process. It's a piece of cake. As a first time Keen customer, you will get the first 10 minutes for only $1.99. Now prices after that do vary on which spiritual advisor that you talk to. The services are backed with a satisfaction guarantee, which is why I love Keen. They really look out for their customers. One thing I really love about Keen is every week, if I look into my email, Keen is sending me another discount codes. So, definitely try keen.com/stargirl. Get your first 10 minutes for $1.99. Let me know how much you love them, and I know you'll love them. So anyway, guys, let's get back to the video. Hi, group number one. Welcome to your reading. So let's go ahead and see what the person on your mind really feels about you and any other any other messages that comes up about love for you guys. So the first thing that I'm seeing, group number one, is that your person definitely has feelings for you, but they don't express it as much as they should. So I'm not quite sure how well you know this person. I don't know if this is a crush yet until I go further in the reading. But what I can tell you about this person, regardless of whether you know them a lot or really well, is that they are people who do not feel comfortable expressing emotions. The person that you are asking about kind of comes off as a cold-hearted, doesn't feel any emotions, doesn't express their emotions, and that's because the person on your mind, group number one, keeps their emotions very much under wraps. And the reason being, I kind of wanted to pick up more of their energy when I was making your spread, and one of the things that I kept doodling on my paper, that's one of the ways that I get messages is through the images that come up, is this house. And this house kept changing, like the door kept changing, the roof kept changing, the walls kept changing. There was like different people going in and out of this house constantly. People would go in and they would leave. So what I'm seeing about your person, group number one, is growing up, their home life or their family life wasn't very stable. So this could mean like they were constantly moving homes, such as like they were in foster care, or this could even mean too like one of their parents kept getting remarried, so they had a bunch of different step siblings, or they were in foster care, or they had a lot of step siblings, or they were constantly having to move from one home to the other, maybe because their parents were in the military. But the common theme about this, group number one, is that the person on your mind didn't really have a very steady home life growing up. It was constantly changing. Things were never the same, and the person on your mind, in order to protect themselves, like from a young age, they realized that getting attached to people was a bad move because people would just leave, things would just change, so there was no point in thinking that anything could be permanent, because growing up, there were so many different changes going on around them with the people in their life, with their home situation. They were constantly, like for some of them, they were constantly moving, or their parents had multiple different husbands or wives with a bunch of different people who came in and out. So they almost don't trust that it's safe for them to get close to people, because they have this belief deep down that people will just leave or abandon them, and it's just not safe. So that's like something really sad I picked up about your person, group number one. And I'm not going to pry too deeply into their energy in a way that's invasive, because first of all, they didn't give us permission, but I'm only picking up what is very present on their energy field that they publicly put out. And something that's very obvious underneath a lot of things. Now, your person, group number one, this is what I'm hearing about them. They have a very heavy mask. This mask is designed to protect them. Okay, like this mask is first of all, this is what I'm getting about your person. If you can look on this Fool card, it is somebody who is crying, but then they have this mask that's happy. It's kind of like they're hiding their emotions behind a mask. So one thing about your person, group number one, is that they find it very difficult to say the words "I love you." They find it very difficult to express in words how much they care for you or how much that they love you. And this is the type of person, like if you were to get emotionally deep with them, they would make a joke to break the moment. They would laugh it off, or like they have a difficult time having serious conversations about your relationship. This is the type of person that, if you were to get mushy and romantic with them, they would get really uncomfortable. They would push you away. They would make some sort of uncomfortable joke, and they would completely ruin the moment as a way to like defend and guard their heart. And like that's the kind of like love style that I'm seeing coming from this person, which might be really frustrating to you. If you want to know if this person has feelings for you, yes, they do, but they are hiding it. They're hiding how much. You know what, group number one? This person has a lot of feelings for you is what I'm seeing. But these feelings go so deep that and it scares them so much that they lock it up in this little box and they press it down into their subconscious in a way to protect themselves. So what their higher selves is telling me is that they have a lot of emotion for you. They feel a psychic connection to you. They're constantly thinking about you, like an obsessive thought in their brain, but they try to suppress it into like this deep box. I don't know if you guys have watched Red Rum, The Shining 2, where he has like in his mind a place where he puts the ghost and locks them up in this coffin. That's kind of what this person does to you, even though you're constantly on their mind. And what I'm seeing about your person group number 1, it's likely, I still have not picked up energetically if you guys are still together or this was a relationship that never made it, that hasn't popped up yet. But what I can say about your person group number 1 is that they're terrified and scared of you. This person is scared of you because so one thing that's really popping up for me about your person group number 1 is that they feel like you are the most exciting, talented, beautiful, sexiest is what I heard person they have ever met in their entire life. But unfortunately, this person on your mind relates exciting and love, passionate feelings with instability, because growing up they had either like an unstable parental figure, an unstable life growing up. Maybe it wasn't even that bad. Maybe it was just like their parents were hippies and they traveled and moved a lot, or they were military brats, but they associate excitement and people who are exciting and intellectually stimulating as people that cannot be trusted, or as people who aren't going to stay and will just abandon them because of their past experiences of unstable people, unstable living situations. Because your person in this life really wants to build something stable. They really want that. They've already lived a chaotic life. They've already lived through a lot of drama is what I'm hearing. Now what they want, your person wants, is to build something stable and practical. The problem is what's going on, because first of all, I want to say this is a twin flame relationship group number 1. I immediately picked that up. And I'll explain what that is. So first of all, we have the Gemini card. The Gemini is absolutely a twin flame relationship, but also we had the past life relationship card. This person is your divine masculine, your divine feminine, doesn't matter your orientation, doesn't matter your gender. This person is your twin flame. But back in the day when I was teaching twin flame, I was really naive about it, and that's something I will admit. But with more further study and experience, I will say that I still believe twin flames exist. The problem, and I'm getting so many tingles for you guys, the problem is really with this is sometimes twin flames aren't able to heal and get their stuff together to be together, and that's a really sad feeling. And I'm actually getting so many tingles from your guides, like, wow, I wish you guys could see or feel what I'm feeling. Sometimes twin flames are not able to get it together where they're able to heal their wounds. Maybe it's like one twin that cannot face their wounds and heal. Maybe it's just like the wounds are too triggering for this lifetime, but sometimes twin flames do not end up together. And I'm not saying that's going to happen with you and your twin flame whatsoever, because you never know. People change so much in a year or two, especially if you're like 30 and under, because that's like your most developmental years, but really it's all the time. And I hate when people say people don't change. That's so not true, depending on who you're talking to, right? Especially with this Gemini energy, it's mutable, right? That's the energy, mutable. Your relationship is absolutely mutable at this point. You guys are changing so much with everything that's going on astrologically in the world. And I really feel like this is a twin flame relationship, and I would not say that unless I truly felt that. I feel it on a soul level, like I feel it on every part of my body, and it's so beautiful. But the problem that's going on is that both of you are very triggering for each other. So one of you, what I'm seeing, is that I'm still trying to decipher whose energy is whose. I'm still trying to decipher that. But one person is very avoidant. And one person in your connection is really avoidant, which means when things start to get serious and when things start to get really emotional, or when things start to become real, they'll get so scared of intimacy. They get so scared of being abandoned. They don't feel safe enough. They don't trust themselves enough to give the relationship a shot. So they become very cold, very withdrawn, and they also do things that would deliberately sabotage the relationship. And then I'm hearing that one person, and I feel like group number one, you know what I feel like? I feel like it's you. I kind of feel like it's you. What you'll do when someone pulls away is you'll try really hard to make them jealous. Like either you'll go out and you'll take pictures with someone else, or you'll go and have fun to show them that you don't need them, or you'll do something to get over them. But what this really shows that other person is that you aren't to be trusted. So your trigger, I feel like group number one, let me just go ahead and see this real quick. So group number one, I kind of feel like you are the type of people where you want the romance that's intense. You want intense feelings. You want fireworks. You want Sid and Nancy, Bonnie and Clyde. You want that passion. That's something you really want. And you want someone who's really expressive about their love. You want someone who's just as passionate as you, who is going to, just completely like be into you and show you that physically and emotionally. But what's going on, group number one, is the reason why your twin flame isn't like that, because remember, twin flames are twins who are opposites. They're opposites because they're meant to mirror each other. So one is going to be one way, the other is going to be another. So they're going to mirror to each other a bunch of things that are completely different, but their soul is going to be the same. So your twin flame isn't like that, group number one. Your twin flame is somebody who's very who has learned that it is not safe to express emotions. Your twin flame is not going to express how they love you in the way that you want and crave. They're going to express it in a way that's more practical. So first of all, group number one, your twin flame, and I really feel like it's this person on your mind. Your twin flame is going to show you the depth of how much they care for you with practical things. Like, for instance, they could help you at work. They could help you at school. They could help you on a project you need help with. They're going to help you in very practical, worldly ways. They're going to help you build up your business. They're going to buy you something that's practical that you need. They're going to want to take care of you and make sure you're healthy. They're going to want to help you study. Very practical ways this person's going to show you that they love you, help take care of you. And especially with the Martyr card, this person is very giving in regards to providing. So what I'm picking up about your twin flame, group number one, is this person, their parents they could have been physically present but not emotionally present, or they could have provided with them with everything they needed, but they could have not really provided them the emotional intimacy that they really crave. So in turn, your twin flame needs to work out this wound because they don't really know how to express emotions. They're very bad at it with the 7 of Cups, but they'll show you the depth of their soul and how much they love you through practical acts, through acts of kindness, through helping raise you up, right? And this is something that's really going to be triggering for you, group number one, because what you crave, because of what you went through, you crave intimacy, someone who's going to show you that they're passionate about you, that they love you with crazy fireworks and acts. But the reason why that your twin flame isn't doing this and acting like that is because you have this abandonment wound, or you have this wound about being ignored, rejected, or this wound about because when I'm seeing group number one, I'm gonna go ahead and just say this real quick. You learn, I don't know for you guys if this is a past relationship or a family situation growing up, but you grew up, this is either a family situation for you or an ex situation where you learned that love is painful, love is meant to be dramatic, it's meant to be intense. You've learned that maybe like one of your parents left or abandoned you or wasn't there for you or wasn't emotionally there for you. So you have like one of your biggest issues is being ignored. If you feel dismissed, if you feel ignored, then you get really angry because that triggers a big wound inside of you, right? Like that's the energy that I'm feeling. And this person is going to trigger that a lot because they are very avoidant in nature. When things get tough, when things get intense, they're not going to fight with you. They're going to walk away. They're going to ignore you. They're going to pretend like they don't care. It's not that they don't care. It's that they act this way as a defense mechanism. And in turn, what this does to you is it enrages you because it brings up a past wound that you have where you were ignored, you were dismissed. Your parents would sometimes pay attention to you, sometimes they ignore you. This brings up a wound in you where it was like you were treated like you weren't important. Like, if you cried, they would just leave you to cry. No one was there for you. So when you become dismissed in your romantic relationships where they're dismissive of you, they're not expressive, this enrages you and this makes you feel awful. And this makes you feel insecure, unstable. So you see how you guys like kind of mirror that where one person in this connection, and I don't know how far you guys are, but I'm letting you know why this is happening when you do date or get to know this person. So what's happening is that you remind them of instability. You remind them of, they think that exciting people, passionate people who excite them are not to be trusted. And also I'm hearing that your person group number 1, they went through some sort of extreme heartbreak. Like there was this one heartbreak that hit them to the core with someone they were really passionate about, really in love with, and it kind of wrecked their soul. So they don't trust that someone they find as exciting, passionate, and amazing as you is going to actually want to stay with them and not break their heart. They would rather go for the safer option. That's honestly what your person would rather do because you remind them that people that they're really in love with and passionate for that excites them, they always hurt them and left. So they're going after the more stable, practical, boring option, even though their higher self is telling me, group number 1, that when they think of you, they think that you are intellectually stimulating, you're physically stimulating, you're the most exciting, amazing person they ever met. They're always thinking about you and how amazing you are and wishing, like their higher self is sitting here wishing for you, right? But they don't trust it. They don't trust you. And what I'm seeing is like they always want to bring you up in conversation. Group number 1, your person always wants to bring you up in conversation. So, I'm seeing that there's 2 women specifically that this person talks to. And I feel like it's at school or at work, or it could be a mother or sister, but they're always looking for an excuse to say your name, drop your name, or talk about you guys. Like, honestly, this person always wants to talk about you. And they're not really addressing, because this person really likes to, suppress their emotions. They're not really addressing the full aptitude of how much they feel for you because they can't. It's like a way for them to protect themselves. But they're always thinking of you sexually. They're always like excited by you. If you text, your name excites them. Everything about you excites them, but they're not ready to tap in to that deep emotional soul connection you guys have, which you do have. Both of you have that. And you know it because this is your twin flame, point blank, and I feel it in every part of my soul that this is your twin flame. And I really hope you guys heal from your wounds, because one of you guys has a codependency wound where you jump from one partner to the next partner to the next partner because you're looking for almost a parent in your relationships or something like that. But one person has this codependency from an unstable childhood, really, and I think it's you, group number 1. You had a really unstable childhood, or emotionally absent parents, or dad left, mom left. You saw a lot of fighting and drama in your house. You had a tough childhood. You were an emotional kid. Those are all things that I see that carried over with you in your relationships. I feel like for a lot of you, it's a missing dad. Yeah, or a lot of you lose your identity in relationships, but whatever the case is, I really hope both of you can get your stuff together and come together, because this is a twin flame relationship, but both of you are going to trigger each other because each of your defense mechanisms triggers each other's wounds. So they're going to be avoidant, and that's going to drive you crazy, and you're going to seem very unstable to them. But in reality, both of you, what you crave is stability. Both of you want a stable partnership. Both of you want, you know, something long lasting. It's just that both of you are so in your heads, projecting your wounds at each other, both of you. And what I'm seeing from this too, guys, is that they're scared of you, first of all. And this person might seem very sneaky. That's another thing about this person. I got the mice card, so I feel like there's something sneaky going around or happening. I feel like both of you like to try to make each other jealous with other people or by going out. And I feel like both of you try to date other people, or you might try to date other people or go for other people. But at the end of the day, you're going to realize that there's nobody like each other, and they recognize that and you recognize that. And I'm also seeing too that a lot of you guys are like just fed up with the fact that your person, they seem to only really express emotions or like they care when they're about to lose you. That is because this person wears such a heavy mask of being a player. Because I'm seeing one thing about your person, group number one, is they wear a very heavy mask about being a player, about having a lot of people, but deep down all they think about is you. They're like, look at these basic BITs, you know what I mean? They literally feel like everyone is basic, and they're like, when they think of excitement and love, they think of you, but they don't trust themselves enough or they're not like healing fast enough this wound about it, right? And I feel like a lot of you guys, you're trying to date around, or you're like out, like, fine, if you don't want me, I'm gonna go out and have fun, right? Like you're starting to be like, I know my power, I know my worth, you know, don't, whatever, bye. That's kind of how it feels. So you try to make them jealous to go out, but you know at the end of the day, this is your twin. That's all Spirit is really showing me. So I know this was long-winded and a lot, but that's what's going on, guys. I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and see how the person on your mind really feels about you and any other love messages that come through as well. So I do have a lot of messages for you guys from your spirit guides about your love life. So I'm going to get into how your person feels, but sometimes with these readings, it doesn't always work so cut and dry because a lot of messages come through. And one thing your spirit guides are telling me, and you have very loud guides, group number 2. I'm getting the tingles, so we're on the right path. Okay, you guys have very loud guides. I wasn't even going to mention spirit guides for you or do a spirit guide reading on these groups because I just felt like I wanted to stick to love and see what the energies were. But immediately, like, one thing that popped up was I saw this guide who is standing behind the lovers. And at first I was like, well, that's just the imagery on the card, but I kept getting drawn to it, where I kept looking at it. I kept seeing the spirit guide. And I also saw that for you in a lot of other cards as well, where there is this like very prominent energy looking over you. And it was kind of very hard to ignore. So I asked the spirit guide who it was. And this is a very general reading. There are thousands of you in 3 piles. But one thing that I did get for you was I really feel it's your twin flame's higher self for a lot of you, because sometimes we're able to have spirit guides on the spiritual plane that look out for us that are still alive on this earth, because we have a physical 3D body, and attached with the cord is our higher soul body on the astral realm, where psychics are able to go in and pick up psychic messages and channel all that stuff. I actually feel like one of your spirit guides looking out for you and protecting you in love is your twin flame, is your twin flame's higher self. I feel like their higher self is working as your spirit guides, protecting you from people who are no good for you in love energetically. But the message that I'm hearing from them is that they want you to be very careful about people in your life who love bomb you. And what I mean by this, and I actually feel like this could relate to the person you're currently talking to or thinking of, I'm seeing that in your life, group number 2, you have a light about you. A lot of you, it's almost like it's not even something that you're consciously aware of. It's not something that I feel like a lot of you No, but you're kind of like a northern star is what they're showing me. And it's kind of like your soul light shines really brightly, energetically. And because of that, you do attract a lot of different people to you, kind of like a spider with the web. And a lot of the times the spiders and their webs, you can't actually see the web. The web is very translucent, but you'll notice that people and things just keep getting caught up in it, right? You guys have this energy about you, and it's a very large, like your auric field. What I'm seeing about your auric field is that it is very large. It radiates, your soul radiates. And I want to make it really clear, like if someone else didn't pick this pile, it doesn't mean their soul doesn't radiate. It doesn't mean that you're better than anyone or whatever. It just means that I really feel like a lot of you, your soul still has this innocence, this shine, this brightness, because I really feel, and a lot of people are saying to me, no, I'm an old soul. I've been here on this earth many times, in many past lives. I get that, okay? But I'm talking about you guys are young souls to earth. This means that you guys could be really old souls, and that's how I feel about you. I feel like you're old souls. However, you have spent most of your lifetimes on the spiritual plane acting as a spirit guide or acting as a guide for people here on earth. I feel like you decided to incarnate as a human on this earth, to experience the human experience, to be a human. However, I do not feel like your soul has done this on earth many times, because you have spent most of your time, most of your lifetimes in the stars, in the astral planes, in different dimensions, working as spirit guides in a higher vibrational body, that where you likely didn't even have a body. You were just like a light being, a light energy. That's how I feel about you, group number 2. And because of this, your soul really shines a lot brighter than most human souls, because it hasn't been tainted and bogged down and beaten down as much as it has with a lot of different human souls here on earth. So you, without noticing, you shine a lot. And subconsciously, energetically, a lot of people are drawn to you and that light that comes out of you, like that spider with the web. So you attract a lot of different people to you. And, you know, one thing that I will say about you guys is that your spirit guides want me to warn you about people who are going to love bomb you. Because I'm seeing the person that you're asking about, first of all, I feel like they're very obsessive in love, and they're very obsessed with you. I feel like there's this obsessive energy. And I also feel like if it's not that, the person on your mind, they really use love and romance as a way to distract themselves, or kind of as a way to get their endorphins going and get high. That's what this person uses love as. And they have a tendency at first, this person you're asking about, this is what I'm seeing, to come in very, very strong, pull out all the stops. The person on your mind, or like just in general, this could even be your experiences in love, where the people that you date or the person you're asking about, right away they will say I love you. Right away they will pull out all the stops, do all the right things, say all the right things, you know, like literally sweep you off your feet in the first few months. But then when you start becoming serious, or when you start getting serious, they will back away and they will just like completely act disinterested. You've had this issue. Be careful of people who love bomb you like that right at the beginning, because the reason why they do this to you is because they kind of idolize you in their minds. And this is what I'm seeing, group number 2, happens to you a lot. You frequently, when you date people, they almost have a hard time seeing you. And it's due to this light that shines out of you. I'm hearing that this person on your mind, or people in the past, have idolized you so much in love that they don't fully see you for you. They're not really seeing you for you. And if they love you, and if they're love bombing you right away, it's not because of who you are, it's because of who they're making you out to be in their minds. It's almost like they're falling in love with the fantasy as opposed to who you are for real in your soul. And I feel like group number 2, the person you're asking about, this is a love bomber. This is someone who comes on really strong at the beginning, and says, like, what I'm hearing too is the person you're asking about, they have said they literally have felt like it was love at first sight with you. They were obsessed from the moment that they saw you. And also what I'm hearing is that one of the things that I'm hearing about them is that they literally they feel like you are, I don't feel like the person on your mind is in love with you. I think they're in love with the idea of you because they idolize you so much in their head. Careful of attracting these souls, group number 2, because also what I'm seeing is that they kind of see you as like their saving grace, their angel, and a lot of people see that with you. A lot of people kind of see you as like their angel, their healer, and you know, you attract a lot of toxic people, and I kind of feel like this person kind of sees you as their angel, like you can save them from their toxicity. Because what I do see about your person, group number 2, one is that they are really connected to God just like you, but they're handling this earthly plane a lot different. I actually feel like the person that you're inquiring about, at some point in their life, they're going to be really into spirituality or God. But what I'm seeing is that group number 2, this person on your mind, I feel like they're very judgmental people. I'm just going to be honest with you. I feel like they're kind of judgmental people. And I feel like once they get to know you, that's the more judgmental they get when you start to break their fantasy about how they view you, if that makes sense. And I feel like group number 2, one thing about them is that they are very, I really don't like saying this, but I'm going to get into like the positive things. I'm sorry guys, but this is what I feel. I feel like they have a tendency to judge other people for, you know, the things that they do. Like if they're a guy, they tend to judge girls who go out and party and act promiscuous, because they're very judgmental in their minds and they're very critical. And that's because these people are idealists, and frequently their fantasy of reality doesn't match up to their expectations. So that's why they become cynical. That's why they become very judgmental. Your person, they have a very intense vibe. I will say this about your person, group number 2. They are extremely charismatic, extremely romantic, but they're love bombers. So what I would say is definitely, if I were you, I'd be really careful about falling too soon, too fast with this person, because I think you guys already have the feeling about this. When things start to become real, that's kind of when their fantasy breaks and they start to become very judgmental about the situation. Also, listen to the way they talk about other people. Are they talking judgmentally about other people? Are they like bashing everyone but you? These are major red flags. And I will say, group number 2, I kind of think you have the feeling intuitively about this person. And I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but I will say this. I was channeling for you that your twin flame is in the future and you're going to meet them 1 year from now. Now, this is a general reading, so for some of you, I actually feel like you might have to walk away from this person for a little bit, and maybe 1 year from now they will have changed or have healed, whatever, and you'll come back together. But I heard for a lot of you, very soon, 1 year from now. And I'm going to show you guys. First of all, I have the worth waiting for card right here. And then I also have the very soon card, because the worth waiting for card popped out right after that. It was the very soon card. So what this tells me is that very soon you guys are going to meet your twin flame, your soulmate. And I know a lot of people do not believe in twin flame soulmate anymore, and that's because of all the lessons and the karma we went through with Saturn and Capricorn, Jupiter and Capricorn. But life isn't just about karma and lessons. It's also about experiencing the earthly plane by experiencing loving relationships, right? And I truly believe everyone out there has, well, most people have that person that they're meant to experience true love with. And I see for you, group number 2, this person, whether it's this person on your mind or whether it's someone new in the future, that you guys are going to meet them very soon, and you are going to meet them 1 year from now when Jupiter goes into Aquarius. That's a very strong message that I heard for you guys. And like I said, I don't say things just to bring your hopes up, because I hate that. And with 2 years as experience as a tarot reader, I know that certain things don't always mean twin flame love. But I was really seeing group number 2, that for a lot of you, when Jupiter's in Aquarius 1 year from now, that is when you're going to be reunited with this person, or you're going to meet your twin flame. And another thing that I heard about your twin flame is that this person who's meant to be like the one you experience earthly love with, this is going to be someone that you have a creative project with. So one thing that I heard about them is a lot of them are going to be musicians, or they're going to play some sort of instrument. But a lot of the times when I see this card, it doesn't just mean in these general readings that it's like it's just music. A lot of the times this talks about a creative soul, a creative individual. Your twin flame, group number 2, is going to be a very creative individual, whether it's through film, through acting, through music, through painting, through creation of anything. And with this person, you guys are going to work in a team, or work in a group, or work in a project, or work in a partnership together that creates beauty, that creates art. And a lot of you guys, this person is going to be just as pure as you, with the same kind of light, who is not used to being on this earth as well. And when you meet this twin flame, they're going to tell you that they've had the exact same experiences where they've attracted a lot of dark people. They're going to be just as pure as you energetically. And they're also going to be someone, I was hearing, that is going to be very connected to God and spiritual. This is going to be a very godly person. And I don't mean in the Christian sense, and there's nothing wrong with Christianity. I know a lot of great Christians, and I find a lot of wisdom in the Bible. But for me, this is not just about religion. This is about a person who's close to the Creator, where their crown chakra is open. They have a good spiritual understanding. They pray. They believe in a Creator. They're very wise. They're very spiritual. And not like fake spiritual, like truly connected to source kind of spiritual. That is what your person is going to be like. And I kept hearing that you are going to meet them. You are going to meet them through some sort of spirituality group, some sort of religious group, some sort of spiritual community, or with people who share your same morals. Like maybe you don't eat animals, or maybe you have a meditation group, a spiritual retreat, whatever it is. This twin flame is coming, and you're going to meet them. And I don't know if it's this person or not, you tell me, but this person is going to be very spiritual, and you're going to meet them in a spiritual group. They're going to bring a lot of spiritual friends into your life, and it's going to be extremely spiritual connection, where both of you, I feel like, want to save the earth, or you have some sort of twin flame mission together, where both of you working together makes the earth a more beautiful place. It brings in the age of Aquarius, but both of you are going to work together on the same soul mission, because both of you are from the same soul family is what I'm hearing. And then both of you here on earth is going to make the earth a more beautiful place by cleaning it up, by doing charity, by doing your soul mission, whatever it is. And you are going to make this earth a more beautiful place to live with your wisdom from being spirit guides in your last life. And that's how you're going to know that this is your real twin flame. Okay, you're going to work together on that twin flame mission. I feel that for you. And I want you to know, group number 2, there's nothing wrong with you if you kind of feel like you can't connect to a lot of people in your love life. You can't connect to people on that deep level that you want, because very few people understand you. This is a good thing. First of all, this is your twin flame's higher self protecting you from people. It's your spirit guide protecting you from people that are not on your path. And the reason why you're not for everyone, the reason why you have a hard time dating and connecting to people, or your love life is something that's been difficult, is because you are not like most souls here on earth. And once again, please don't take this as an ego thing, like you're better. It's just that you're not like a lot of the people you come in contact with. You have this radiating energy. You have this higher mission on earth. You can't connect to a lot of frivolity, small talk. You can't connect to a lot of this generation's dating, because your soul is not like their souls. And if things don't work out in your romantic life, that's because your soulmate here on earth is actually going to be somebody who is very similar to you and has that too. And I feel like the person you're asking about, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, this could be that person. If it sounds like that person, it could just be this person has growing up to do. But whoever it is on your mind, I feel like they're a little bit of a player. They get a lot of power from manipulating other people. Well, hold on. I don't want to say that, because I feel like your person is I don't feel like your person is a bad person, but I feel like there's a lot of anger and there's a lot of need for them to get validated through the opposite sex or through the same sex, depending on what they prefer. But I kind of feel like this person has a tendency to try to win people over and conquer people and sweep them off their feet, because it's a way for them to validate themselves and their power. It's almost they like the conquest, they like the chase. But when it comes to something permanent, it either becomes obsessive, where I feel like they completely idolize the person and they're not able to see the person because they're falling in love with what their imagination makes them out to be, because they're that type of person. Or they lose interest and they start to become very mean, very harsh, very critical, because that real person is not living up to their fantasy. Because a lot of them are very, like, I'm kind of getting about your person you're asking about. They like to escape reality. They like to escape reality through romanticizing relationships, through love and romance. And I kind of feel like your person, they're in that phase where they're romanticizing you. They're thinking about you a lot. They're thinking that you're an angel here to save them, like you know, whatever. But I'm also getting the devil energy. And this energy, if you look at this card, guys, it's like, to me, it's kind of like this this person who has an addiction. Some of them might have like a partying addiction, a romance addiction, a love addiction, but it's almost like they're coming from a dark place, but they mean well, if that makes sense. It kind of feels like deep down they have this dark side that they don't want to face about themselves, but they put on a nice guy act, or they put on a romantic act, a harmless act, because they have a hard time facing their own darkness, is what I'm hearing. And because they have a hard time facing their own darkness, they will project it on other people and be very judgmental of other people who are out partying, or, you know, being promiscuous, is what I'm hearing. But at the same time, this person, they're kind of looking, this person, what I'm hearing, your person, they're looking for like someone who's dedicated, wife material, Stepford wife, or someone who's very pure, chaste, all that stuff. But you know, they themselves aren't that way. It's very weird. Like, your person is there's a lot going on there, but I'm definitely seeing like obsessive energy with this person. They're obsessed with you. And I feel like they see you as a conquest or a chase. They're thinking of ways they can suck you in. And I feel like they see your difference. Like, that's one thing that I'm seeing about your person. They physically see your difference from other people, because they see you as somebody who's this chaste, perfect angel that they want. But the thing about it is that, like, compared to other people, like with these girls partying, it's like there's a clear difference between you and everyone else. And that's why even if there's not, they're thinking of you that way, and they're idolizing you in a very big situation. But I'm seriously hearing that this person is obsessed with you. Like, that's the word that keeps coming up. They're obsessed with you. They want you. They feel like you are everything they wished for in a person, and they're completely idolizing you. They see you as a star in the sky. One thing that just popped into my head was the star in Princess and the Frog, Evangeline, where they literally see you as that star in the sky, the brightest lightning bug. They see you as that. You're the one that will always have gotten away. They will always think of you as the perfect person. They will always preserve you in their mind, and no one else will ever measure up to you and the way they think about you, because that's how much they have idolized you. Maybe because you walked away before it could get real, but whatever the case is, they will always see you as that perfect person. And I feel like group number 2, it's very tempting to go to this person. This person is very seductive, alluring, and charming, but at the end of the day, your soulmate here on earth is going to be just as pure as you. And I'm using pure in this weird way, but both of you are going to have a mission together that's going to go beyond just dating and physical attraction. That was a very big message I heard. And like, just be careful of people who love bomb you right away. I love you. You're my twin flame. You're everything right away. Like, the intensity, that's them playing out like a need inside of them is what I'm hearing. So that was really long. Thank you guys for watching, but I hope this helped you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and see how the person on your mind really feels about you and other messages that come up for you in your love life. So group number 3, one thing that I do see with the let your light shine in reverse is a lot of you recently, your light has really dimmed, and this is likely due to some sort of breakup. So what I'm hearing, group number 3, is a lot of you used to be very different than who you are today, but a lot of you who have went through some sort of chaotic relationship that was either abusive, that brought out a lot of your dark sides, or like you went through some sort of abuse or something really traumatic happened to you that has really dimmed your light and kind of has made you turn into the shell of a person today. So I know this is a general reading and there's a lot of different scenarios, but one of the things that Spirit was showing me, because I know this is a how do they feel about you, and we are going to get to that, but sometimes the messages don't come in so cut and dry because there's things I have to say first. So group number 3, I kind of feel like Spirit wants to bring your attention to the fact that you're kind of you're the shell of a person that you used to be. And it's because it's like almost because a lot of you have went through, like I said, some sort of abuse in your life, or a really abusive relationship, or a lot of really like dark transformative relationships that have made you feel very insecure, and also has kind of caused you to lose like your spark. That's what I see. But for others of you, what I'm seeing is that this is just like how you are. This is how you are, and has something to do with a self-worth issue, a self-love issue. And group number 3, I see it with the Queen of Acorns, where I feel like in the past, a lot of you, because this represents the Queen of Wands, a lot of you were people who were very unique. You were very much an individual, and you shined very bright. But recently with the Chameleon card, it's making me feel like a lot of you have started to like be very passive. You've been starting to, like, what I mean by this is like you dim your light for other people, so you'll be very passive, you'll be very easygoing, you'll lie to make other people happy, you'll go with the flow, you don't really have like, it almost seems like you don't really care. You'll just go with whatever the other person wants. And I really feel like this is due to some sort of dysfunctional relationship that went on in your life, where you learned that it wasn't safe for you to speak up or express your opinions, because then you would get yelled at, or then they would hurt you, or like this could be a parental relationship or a past relationship. But I kind of feel like this is really hard to talk about, because when I see that bat, this talks about a lot of shadows are surrounding you and your situation. And I know, like, I don't want to get too serious into it, because I don't want to tell you unless you're ready, but I feel like there's a lot of darkness, a lot of your shadow self surrounding your love connections in regards to this person and with you. And I feel like a lot of you might not even notice, because the bats are hidden. The bats talks about our shadow, what we cannot see, but is very prevalent. I feel like group number 3, a lot of you don't see just how much you have changed from this traumatic incident, because a lot of the times when something traumatic happens to us, we press it down into our minds so we don't have to think about it, so we can move on with our lives. But slowly it eats away at our personality, our life force, and people might say, well, you've changed a lot, or you're not the person you used to be. And you might even feel that about yourself, where you're not the same lively person you used to be, and you're somebody who just kind of is numb. You know what I mean? Like, that's the feeling I get when I see this chameleon. It's kind of like group number 3, you went from this Queen of Wands who's very feisty, very free-spirited, very very like fiery, and now you're this chameleon where you're very passive, you go with the flow, you're just chill, and people call you chill, but I really feel like it's because for some reason you just don't feel safe you don't feel safe, or you haven't healed from some sort of experience in your life where it taught you that your needs and speaking up for yourself was unsafe, if that makes sense. And I feel like a lot of you guys, the reason why people fall for you is because you are so easygoing, and you're somebody who's very, like, the person on your mind, I can see right away the reason why they fell for you was because at the time you met them, or at the time they knew you, you were someone who's very like easygoing, very sweet, very caring, but this is only because I feel like this is because a lot of you just maybe you have like people pleasing tendencies is what I'm seeing, because maybe growing up you had like a parent where they only rewarded you if you did something, or maybe this is just because you had people pleasing tendencies because you went through abusive relationships or witnessed abuse in your life, where now you don't feel safe speaking up for yourself, so you'll lie to make other people feel better, you'll people please in order to make sure everyone's happy and kind of put your needs on the back burner. I do see like people pleasing tendencies. Group number 3, and this doesn't mean like not everything is our parents' fault. Sometimes this could be just from a really bad relationship we haven't healed from, right? Group number 3, I do sense that one of the things about you is that you would rather suffer than let anyone else suffer. So you'll tell white lies, or you will do anything to please the other person if they're unhappy. You could have had like a parent that was very demanding of you, very conditional in love, or this could have been, like I said, a relationship where if you didn't do what they say and cater to them, they were abusive. But whatever the case is, group number 3, I feel like you have been through some sort of dark relationship that has taught you how to be passive and has taught you to be people pleasing. That's the biggest energy I get for you, group number 3. And I feel like the person on your mind, for some reason, guys, I kind of feel like if you're thinking about an ex, or if this is an ex of yours, I kind of feel that there's something better for you in the future. But what I will say about this person on your mind is that they do see your people-pleasing tendencies. They see that you're willing to help. They see that you're very catering to other people. So this person will kind of use their depression as a way to rope you back in, or they will try to make you feel bad for them in order to rope you back in. Like, that's kind of how they like get people back. And I feel like group number 3, this person, one thing about them is they could be very draining for you because you have the tendency to be people pleasing, because you have the tendency to kind of like cater to others in order to, and like forget yourself. This person, and I don't know how well you know this person yet, but I'm willing to bet a lot of you have been through some stuff together. But this person, they have a lot of darkness inside them. This person likely has had trouble with the law, is what I'm hearing. This person doesn't feel like they fit into society. They have a lot of anger and a lot of resentment, because I think they could have possibly been in an abusive situation too, or whatever the case is. They have a lot of darkness too, because I got vampire in reverse as well. And I kind of feel that they have a tendency to take advantage of your people pleasing, or they will, by like constant complaining, because they know that you will cater to them, or that will rope you back in. And I feel like this person, they require a lot of energy and help, but I kind of get the sense from them that they themselves are very self-absorbed. And I'm not saying this is a bad person and then or this is not your soulmate or whatever, but I'm kind of getting the feeling from the person that you're asking about that they have a lot of darkness. And I see that one thing about them is they are very alluring. Like, there's something very mysterious about them with vampire and bats. There's something about the darkness that is very alluring. It's kind of like those vampires in the movies where, the girl always falls for the vampire because they're mysterious. There's something to them, but at the end of the day, the relationship doesn't work because they are, they're messed up. And I kind of get that vibe from your person, group number 3. So group number 3, how does this person feel about you? Well, first of all, this person on your mind with the vampire in reverse, I will say this about them. I'm not saying they're a bad person. I'm not saying they're the right person for you, but I do have a lot of bats, vampire, stuff like that. I feel like with this person, your shadow sides really come out, like your dark sides. I feel like there's a lot of darkness surrounding this connection. It doesn't mean they're not for you. It doesn't mean that they're bad or you're bad, but I feel like both of you have a lot of trauma or a lot of darkness and anger surrounding you. And one thing about this person I'm hearing is that they listen to really angry music, whether it's like angry metal, angry rap, that's a lot angrier than normal lyrics. And I'm not saying people who listen to angry music are angry or people who listen to metal are angry, but I'm kind of feeling about your person, this person listens to angry music because they're angry and hurt. This person likes the darkness because they live in the darkness. And I kind of feel like this person, group number 3, regardless of how well you really know them, but I will tell you something about this person. Like if you don't know them that well, this might seem a little shocking, but I'm only reading them as far as like their auric field is letting me. I'm not going to pry deep in there because they have not given us consent. But what I do see is that this person on your mind, they deal with a lot of darkness, they deal with a lot of anger, they deal with a lot of resentment, and they are very blocked off to their higher self right now. It could be that this person has literally went through abusive relationships or really bad situations in their life they have not healed from, but I'm hearing that this person likely has issues with authority, issues with rejection. Some of them have already been to jail, some of them already have kids, some of them are in a lot of debt, but whatever the case is, this person is not in a good place in life, and I feel like they're going through a lot of anger right now, a lot of anger and a lot of resentment. And I kind of feel, group number 3, that your person is kind of like Jekyll and Hyde, where they have two faces to them. One face is very alluring. They know how to make things exciting. They make things exciting everywhere they go. There's something really magical about this person. But at the same time, on the flip side, this person has a really dark side that's filled with a lot of anger, and it kind of switches like a drop of a hat. And I kind of feel like for those of you who don't know this person really well, I kind of feel like I see why a lot of you were drawn to this person, because they are very seductive and alluring and mysterious, but they have this dark side that is very present on their aura, and one of the things that is drawing you in. But I'm also seeing that, because you are someone who's very people-pleasing, for those of you who know this person really well, they have a tendency to play on that and kind of like use emotions as a way to rope you back in. So I'm seeing group number 3, there's a lot of scenarios playing out in my head right now about your love life through the future or what you're going through right now, but I'm seeing this one scenario where someone might threaten suicide in order to get you back. Someone might threaten you with their mental health in order to get you back. Someone might threaten you with their emotional outburst in order to rope you back in, to get you to act the way they want. I'm seeing that you have been in your life around a lot of emotionally manipulative people who would use emotions or depression or their troubled past in order to get your attention, because you are so people-pleasing, you are so accommodating, and I feel like you've just been around a lot of emotionally manipulative people who take advantage of that. And I'm also seeing about your person in regards to the way that they feel about you. We have the Empress card, which tells me that what I'm hearing is that their higher self really is looking for, not even their higher self, what they're looking for, your person, is someone to parent them. Because I kind of get the feeling like your person what they really want is to be nurtured. What they really want is to be taken care of. What they really want, what they're looking for in romantic relationships is a parent, because growing up, you know, their parents weren't there for them, or they didn't receive that parenting growing up. So one big thing about your person is they're really just looking for someone to date that will literally take care of them like a parent should have done for them when they were growing up. That's a very big thing. And I think they see you as that figure, or like that's what they're looking for. And for a lot of you, group number 3, for those of you who are not with this person anymore and you're in separation, you broke up, it didn't work out, a lot of them are thinking about you and they want to reconcile with you. They want to come back. They're thinking about you. However, I think that they know that you, or they feel like you'd be very closed off to them reaching out to you. That's how I feel about it. And they're scared. They're deeply scared of rejection. But whatever the case is, group number 3, I am sensing an energy of love around you, of a toxic, dysfunctional ex who wants to reach back out to you again, who wants to heal the relationship because they have been thinking about you. But I'm hearing from your spirit guides, group number 3, whoever this is, your toxic ex from the past, they're an ex for a reason, and I'm hearing that you need to release your ex because there's something very dark right now about this situation where both of you bring out each other's shadow side. And I am also hearing from your spirit guides that they want you to rely more heavily on your friends. If you're having a hard time releasing a toxic, dysfunctional ex, if you're still like stuck on someone from the past, rely on your friends, because what I'm seeing is that a lot of your friends were very much right about this person on your mind. So listen to your friends about what they have to say about the person you're interested in, because what I'm hearing is that a lot of your friends have been right about this person. They've been making bold statements about this person. Your friends have been warning you about this person. Spirit is saying listen to your friends, because your friends are really like, they're tuned in. They can see things from an outside perspective, and your friends are right about this person. And what I'm seeing too, guys, for a lot of you, this is another message that popped up. A lot of you have a lot of friends, or you've had a lot of like friends who were actually attracted to you and have secret crushes on you. I'm getting like there's something about Mary vibe, group number 3, where, you know, you have like, you know, in that movie, there's something about Mary. She's surrounded by like 6 different guys who they're friends, but really they're all pining after her. I kind of feel that vibe around you, group number 3. I feel like a lot of people are more attracted to you than you think, but I'm also getting from you an oblivious vibe, and also a issue with self-love, so you're not even able to see it, because I feel like the reason why you're so people-pleasing is from that lack of self-love, or because of that abusive situation that has kind of caused you to dim your light. I feel like a lot of you guys, you really aren't able to see just like how many, like I'm getting a lot of guy friends or a lot of girl, whatever your orientation is, who actually secretly pine after you. And I feel like a lot of them will use like emotional manipulation or feel sorry for me in order to gain your attention, because they know how caring you are, or they know that you are going to give them attention for it, because you have that people-pleasing tendency. So like that's like, there's something about Mary keeps popping up in my head where, you know, the guys will act like they're hurt, they're disabled, or they're going through stuff to get Mary's attention, because Mary's so like comforting and sweet. I feel like you're surrounded by a lot of that energy, group number 3, in your love life. That's something that was like really shown to me. And in regards to the way this person on your mind feels about you, I will say the person that you are thinking of, I really feel is someone who is just not, I feel like they have a lot of anger. I feel like they want to reach out, but they don't want to be rejected by you because they have too much ego. And I kind of get the feeling that they're very cut off from their higher self, and they're very much focused on themselves. And one thing I will say though is I do feel like a lot of them, they do have a secret crush on you. They are stalking your social media from far away. That was a very big message that I saw, is that they're looking at your social media, or they're looking at old pictures of you. Like, that's a big thing, the person on your mind. I will say though, like, the connection, there is mutual chemistry. Group number 3, I do sense that. I do sense between you and the person that you're asking about, there is that chemical spark. Both of you find each other to be very mysterious. Both of you find each other to be very attractive. Both of you are very like physically into each other is what I'm seeing. I do sense that chemistry. However, what I'm seeing is that if this is an ex, it's definitely time to release them and let your friends help you with that. Also, group number 3, what I really feel like Spirit is really pushing you towards at this time is definitely friendships, like nurturing your friendships. I feel like some of you might want a romantic connection because you feel like you want connection with someone, but really what I feel you're craving is like connections and friendships with people who really care about you. And I see all of those things coming in specifically at work or at school. And I feel like these people, like through your friends, you're going to meet your next soulmate, or through you might fall for a friend or something like that. But I do see that your soulmate did come up, and I do see the King of Cups that came up for you as who your soulmate is. And what I can say about your soulmate, group number 3, is that this person is going to be very emotionally mature. So a lot of the people you have dealt with in the past have been people who are very emotionally manipulative, very emotionally unstable. They might have been people who were had emotional outbursts, or who didn't know how to handle their emotions or pain and let it out on you, or used emotions to manipulate you. Your soulmate is not going to do that. Your soulmate is going to be very emotionally mature. They're going to be someone who's very zen, as you can see in this photo. They're going to be very zen, very emotionally calm. They're never going to take advantage of your kindness or your people pleasing. And actually, this person is going to encourage you to start being yourself, to start, around this person, you're going to feel safe enough to be the Queen of Wands, to be fiery, to be your normal self, to let yourself shine. And you're going to feel absolutely comfortable around this person to do that. And one thing about this person too, this person is really going to bring out your own individual light and help you shine as well. Because if you look at these cards, they're both shining from the chest, right? I really feel like this person, your soulmate, is actually going to encourage you to shine on your own and be independent. So group number 3, I do see a soulmate coming for you, absolutely. I even see with deep emotional healing. A lot of you have recently went through a lot in your life that has caused you to be to go through a lot of emotional healing from your traumas, and I see that you are ready to love again. Spirit is not showing me the exact time because it's too general of a reading, but I do see that your soulmate is out there. They're the King of Cups, very emotionally mature, not emotionally manipulative and volatile whatsoever like in the past. But group number 3, I'm not going to lie to you, there's a huge message about self-love in this spread, where I feel like you're really being called, like you're starting to really heal your trauma, become the best version of yourself, and learn how to express yourself authentically. And I feel like as soon as you do that, as soon as you stop dimming your light for others, as soon as you have a sure sense of self and you have a lot of self-love, this is when you're going to attract this person like a magnet. I really sense that. So I don't really feel like it's a sense of timing, but rather when you are able to fully shine and be yourself and stop dimming your light, and when you're finished healing from all of the trauma that you have went through. And I feel like group number 3, it could be this person on your mind, but honestly, if it's an ex, I don't think so. And I feel like with these blindfolds right now, a lot of you, it's a lot of your love life is very karmic. It's very things will be hidden from certain psychic healers because we're not meant to see it just then for certain reasons. A lot of things about knowing is karmic, but I feel like you have these blindfolds on because right now is not the time for you to know a lot about your love life, because this is such a huge time of self-exploration, learning to trust yourself. But these are all things that I see for you. But yeah, that's all I have for you. I hope you have a great day. I hope this helped. I'm so sorry Spirit's messages are but I'll see you later. Bye.